Hey everybody, welcome back. 15 good minutes. We were just giving Freddie the congratulations. He made it to the last day of January for Dry January, which is the day that we're taping on, and it's no telling what he's going to look like next week because February won't be dry. But congratulations, Freddie, on a job well done. How you doing today, man?
Hey man, I'm doing well. How about you guys?
I can't call it. How about you, Jr? You good?
I'm doing good, man. Every day is the same, just going to work, do my thing. That's it.
It's got to be more to life than that.
Oh yeah, well, you got to leave some stuff.
I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today doesn't take a long time, but this Saturday, this weekend is Duke UNC. It's a big rivalry for me, so I wanted to tee up rivalries in sports. I was kind of leaning towards teams, but when I was doing some research earlier, I noticed some individual rivalries as well. So what I want to do is I'm going to start with Duke UNC and then open it up and see what you guys think. There are certain rivalries for me that are just they hit home, and this is probably the biggest one. Interestingly enough, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, how either team is ranked when they play. You just can't predict the results. We lost both of them last year, Freddie, and we had the exact same score in both cases, 57. One game they had 62, another game they had 63. But for me, anyway, the most meaningful was the year before, beating Coach K at home for his last home game. And then same year, beating them in the Final Four and ending his career.
That was the greatest.
That was the greatest. And here's the thing, Freddie, they were a 2 seed. Carolina was an 8 seed. And to in the media, everybody was on Coach K all year on the tour. But for Carolina to end that run, for me, it was just epic. So I'll say this and then turn it over to you guys. This is another. I think we're both in the top 10 when we meet on Saturday, so I expect a good game. I really get into it. I enjoy them. I use this as a reference. I think when I was talking to Freddie about something, I think maybe it was the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago, and I indicated that when they lose, it's right up there with me when not just Duke losing, but when Carolina beats Duke. Conversely, when they beat us, I have a very tough day. I had 2 tough days last year losing to them Bamas, man. I just, it's that kind of a thing. So I'm going to start with you, Freddie. You're a Carolina fan as well. What are your feelings on that particular rivalry, and how has it, manifested itself with you over your lifetime?
I think it's the probably the greatest in college basketball. I think it's, to be honest with you, I think it's probably very close in basketball, period. Probably close as Lakers and Celtics, but for the college game, I think it's probably the best college basketball rivalry. I think in what I've seen the last 3, 4 years, in my opinion, UNC has always had the better team. However, Duke, for some reason, they always have 1 or 2 very special players. They don't have the bet, in my opinion, because UNC they'll roll 8, 9, 10 deep, and Duke will go at maybe 6, 7, maybe 8, right? And they'll pull it out, And so I think that makes the rivalry very intriguing. I can see Duke winning, on Saturday. I see Duke winning it. It wouldn't shock me.
JR, do you follow this particular rivalry, and if so, in what way?
No, I only watch it when they play. I'm not a Duke or a North Carolina fan. I'm more of the Big East guy. But to me, that's a tough game for me to call because I haven't really watched a lot of Duke, but I've watched North Carolina somewhat.
I would also get amped up about rivalries that I coached when I was at Centerville. It was against Chantilly. I can give you every detail right now of every game, and that was in the mid '90s. When I was at Largo, it was at Gwynn Park. There was some dog battles out there because I I I thought that they were dirty. I'm just gonna put it out there now. I can say it now. I thought they were dirty. And one year, Freddie, they came out, and you know how it is when you have an altercation, how it's always the retaliator that gets caught. And they came out and they hit our 7-footer, and by the time his big ass was able to get his arm around and start swinging, he looked like he was the aggressor. They ejected him out the game, and that's what they wanted. So, it was Gwynn Park with Largo, and then at Oxon Hill, it was Potomac. But when you had those types of rivalries playing, for me, I felt like the rivalry's only good when both teams are good. Going back to Freddie's point, you got, two top 10 teams this Saturday. Okay. But when both teams are sorry, it's not the same. But when they're good and that gym is packed, or in Freddie's case, when that football game is sold out and people are in line, before the JV game to come watch, that's exciting. So I'm gonna start with you, JR. I mean, did you have any of that while you were coaching? In terms of any one particular team over all those years that you got up for more than another?
It had to be Gwynn Park at Largo. I'm with you on that 100% because they were like a slide stab you in the back.
Type slide about it, but okay.
No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean is how you doing, buddy? How you doing, buddy? And then
yeah, that was false. But the coaching staff was courteous and professional.
Oh yes,
but
definitely. Coach Glick was he was a nice guy. Yeah. And I forgot the black gentleman's name, the JV guy. I forgot his name, but they were pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there was that because there was smack talking, and like you said, it was always the retaliator that got caught.
At Walter Johnson in Bethesda, our rivalry, and again, I didn't really know much about the public school in Montgomery County, but I was at Walter Johnson, and our rival when I got there, it was BCC, Bethesda.
Oh yeah, we lost to them.
Yeah, we lost to BCC.
And when I got there, to me, the kids, the kids and the coaches, everybody was like, oh, they're a rivalry because we actually played in the same stadium. At the time, they were getting their stadium built or whatever.
Okay.
Gonzaga, our biggest rivalry was probably St. John's because it was supposed to be the longest high school football rivalry in the country.
Say for our grandchildren, I don't think rivalries would be a thing. I think it's going to be standard. You look at that current Dr. Pepper commercial. I think it's really, really funny. They're trying to save the quarterback from going into the portal. And he said, give me your hand. He's no, that's my Dr. Pepper hand. He let the dude go. You can't give up your Dr. Pepper hand. But the fact that so many people are in the portal right now, you know what I mean? And you see it in NCAA football. Soon as the week after the Final Four with basketball, immediately you got all these guys flooding in. So consequently, I don't mean to say that it's getting watered down. I think it's bringing some parity, but I don't think the team rivalries, I don't think that they're going to be the same for our grandchildren as they were for us.
And I agree, and a lot of, the nil is great, but when you go from one team to another team, people get tired of buying jerseys and stuff like that. At least me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. To that point, I'm probably dating myself. I think the last jersey that I bought was when Chris Webber was with Sacramento.
Wow.
Because he's my guy. So that's why I go. So what I do all the time, I support my teams.
Yeah.
But I don't get numbers. I don't get jerseys. I don't put another man's name on my back. I just support whatever that squad is. Right. I'm that way. So Green Bay, Packers, Chicago Bears. Yes, no?
Yes, no. I mean, what's the question?
Do you consider that a rivalry?
Yesteryear.
Yeah, yesteryear. Yeah, you do that now. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Los Angeles Lakers, Boston Celtics.
That goes
I would say yes. I would say yes. I would say yes because
even currently
they're still prominent.
Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
I think too that there has to be a certain element in a rivalry where you just don't like them.
Yeah.
I think that fuse, and growing up as a kid, I felt like they didn't like each other. I felt that way too about Boston and the Lakers, but I'm talking about Bird's Boston, Magic's Lakers. I thought those guys didn't like each other. Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees.
Oh, of course. Still is now.
Nah,
Freddie's thinking about it.
Yeah, still is now.
JR jumped.
nah,
JR jumped in with both.
it's not. You know what made that a rivalry? The Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
Listen, we were up 3-0.
Come on, Russ. Why you got?
We were up 3-0 against Boston, and let them Bama's come back and win 4 in a row. College football, Ohio State, Michigan.
Definitely, yeah.
I think that still is, right? They say the number one rivalry in all sports is Duke versus North Carolina. I don't know, for me personally, like I was saying at the top, I don't know if it's the rivalry that it was. Do you guys both, do you think that Duke Carolina is still a rivalry today?
I think so, because of the facilities. I'm sorry, facilities of where they are.
Before we check out, let me see if the guys got anything to say. JR, you got anything to say today, man?
No, I'm good, man. I'm gonna turn it over to Freddie.
We all know Freddie got something to say today, so I ain't even gonna ask him. Freddie, what you got to say today, man? Run it down for us.
I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as I can. Ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout for these phone scammers. I received a call yesterday, and the guy said, "Hey, my name is David Johnson." That's what he told me. That's a common name. I'm with the U.S. Department of Justice. Okay. I'm thinking, did I apply recently for a job at DOJ or something? That's what I'm thinking in my head. I was like, nah, I hadn't. I said, so I'm thinking in my head, why are you calling me? He says, hey, we got a package that we intercepted, a package that's being addressed to you, coming to you. It had heroin, crack, cocaine, multiple passports, multiple social security cards, and $90,000 in cash coming to you. And I said, okay, that's nice. And he said, do you know anything about it? I said, nah, I don't know nothing about it. He says, well, the U.S. Marshals, they have a warrant for your arrest, and they're coming to get you within 2 hours. So when he said that, I instantly said, since when does the feds have a warrant for someone and they call you and they telling you they coming for you? I never had a warrant, but I would assume that if somebody got a warrant for you, they don't call you and say, hey, my man, we coming for you in 2 hours. So I said, this is what I told him. I said, hey, because at this point I said, you know what? This is a scam. I said, I'm gonna mess with him. I said, they coming for me in 2 hours? He was like, yes, the federal marshal's coming for you. I said, okay. I said, hey, tell them I ain't going to be available in 2 hours. Tell them to come in 2.5 hours because I got a conference call. I said, I ain't going to answer the door in 2 hours. I said, I'll be free in 2.5 hours. And so then he started asking me, what's my address?
Mm-hmm.
And
they coming. How they going to come and you asking me for the address?
Exactly. So then he asked me for my address. I said, well, if the marshals got a warrant for my arrest, I said, they know him. I said, why do I need to confirm my address? And so then I said, look, man, this sounds like a scam. I said, I ain't got time for this. I assure you this is not a scam, yada, yada. He started listing off a bunch of banks and about he listed off about 7 of them. And I have accounts with about 3 of them. And I said, you missed one. And he said, which one did I miss? I said, GFY Credit Union. And he said, what's that? And I said, go yourself, credit union, right? And he was like, sir, this is not a laughing matter. I said, look, man, this is a scam. Yep. I said, go get a job. I said, I don't have time for this. And so then he said, shut the up and called me the N-word. And so then he hung up. So ladies and gentlemen, please be careful of these online scammers.
I'll probably get 7, maybe 8 spam calls a day. And it's sad because when you've had the same number all this time, it's my number. And some of the stuff that the cellular company does, a lot of it says potential spam, but to Freddie's example, some of it doesn't. So I'm at a point in my life now where I probably have, probably 400 or 500 contacts. If you don't show up as one of those contacts, I just don't pick up.
Everything that you can think of that they made a fail safe for, people were working on that the day after. You understand? So you can't trust. You really can't trust a whole bunch of people. And they're using your voice for AI through AI. So you got.
I think it's only gonna get worse too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had I have an email address that I use for junk email. Like when somebody say what's your email address, I wish we had that in the phone world. You know what I mean? Where you could just route all that stuff to that. Like, because right now I can tell you, if I've given you my email address and it ends in Yahoo, you ain't that close to me because that's the junk email address. I need a junk phone number, but such as it goes. I'm glad Freddie made it out of that one okay. That was a good I got something to say. We appreciate all you guys for hanging with us. We love having you watch if you're on YouTube or listen if you are on the podcast. Enjoy Duke, Carolina this weekend, and we'll get you guys ready for the Super Bowl next weekend. Until then, we'll talk to you later.